We are live. What's going on? How's everybody doing? We have Fight Night, Cannonier, Caio Borralho. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I've been trying to get it down. That's a hard one to pronounce, man. But Caio Borralho, he is fun to watch. He's exciting. He kind of reminds me of Paulo Costa and Charles Oliveira. He's a well-rounded fighter. He's got good striking. He's fun on the feet, but we'll see if he can get it done. 5-round fight against the vet, Cannonier. Cannonier was looking a little rough from that weight cut. I don't know if that's just me, but he was looking a little rough to me. So, and coming off the last outing with Nasruddin Imavov, we'll see. What's up, Tehran? How you doing, man? What's up, Colostrum? What's up, Notorious? How you guys doing? Did you guys just see Conor? On social media, he just said free me or something like that. Conor wants to let the saga continue, man. I don't think he's fighting in the UFC again. I think him and the UFC are having some real issues behind the scenes. That's what I know on my channel, we've all kind of been saying that for a while, that I think that there's some things going on behind the scenes between Conor and the UFC. What's up, Cold Art? How you doing, man? You're jealous that I have a nice beard. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. What's up, Rocco? How you doing, man? Yeah, I'm excited for this card tonight. It's actually one of the very few Apex cards that is actually kind of solid. Because normally with the Apex, there's main event, and then there's a couple fights that are like, I don't know. So we'll see. You're changing your pick. You're picking Toria to beat Holloway. What made you change your mind, man? What made you change your mind? I'm just curious. What's up, Tersey? How you doing, man? You got Reese, Morales, Cannonier. I got Reese. I got Morales, but I think Borralho can get it done. You only care today's main event fight. There's some good. Hey, don't sleep on some of the other fights on this card. I think this card's actually pretty good, top to bottom. I'll pull it up in just a minute. And we can take a look at it. But what's up, Josh? Fuck Conor. You're over the whole drama shifter. Dude, I was just saying this the other day. If we had the option, actually, I'm going to put up a poll for this. Let me put up a poll. I want to know what you all are thinking instead of me just saying this. Which fight would you rather have for 310? So UFC 310 is the last pay-per-view of the year, just so everyone knows that, okay? I want to know what you all think. Because one second, let me put this in here. All right. Make sure it's spelled right. Cool. All right, which one would you rather see this year? To end the year for 310, what would you rather see? I would rather see DDP versus Strickland too than see Conor and Chandler. I really don't care if we see Conor fight again anymore. But my video made you change your mind? Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Yeah, I just, breaking down the tape, taking a look at things. And one thing that we just haven't seen anybody do is attack the body of Max Holloway. We haven't seen anybody do that. And I think this is the first guy that's going to do that. And maybe that's been the key all along because Max is so durable. I wonder, now that you think about it, why has no one attacked Max's body? Even back in the day, I'm surprised Dustin, it's kind of crazy if you think about it. Because normally when someone's really durable and you can't get them out of there, you invest in the body. What's up, JJK? Poatan said he asked the UFC for Ankalaev, but he said no. But Ank looks like he wants Poatan. Why would he say no? You guess the UFC is lying. I think that the timeline, I don't think Poatan lies. I think that he kind of says it like it is. I do believe that he wants to fight Magomed Ankalaev, which I'm going to make a video actually discussing some of the narratives around this fight. Because my two favorite light heavyweights are Poatan and Ankalaev, so I like them both. But there's a lot of narratives and things going on around this fight that are just incorrect. So I'm going to make a video at some point, probably this week, on that. But yeah, I don't think Poatan's lying. I think that Magomed wanted to fight him at 308, and the UFC's like, we're not going to have Poatan fight in front of a fan base that's going to be rooting for you. Like basically you're going to get an away game as the champion when you have done the UFC all these favors. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of crazy. What's up, Big Meaty Hooks? How you doing, man? If Magny wins, you're going to lose your mind. Dude, I'm telling you, if Neil Magny wins, give the dude a title shot. Give him a title shot. Fuck Usman. Fuck Shavkat. Bilal versus Magny. If Neil can pull off the upset, give Magny a title shot. Did I hear Kavanaugh is returning in November on the China card? I did not hear that. That is good news, though. Is it wait, what? Oh, the one in November, right? That's in, or you said that, yeah, November, yeah. It's crazy. All the long distance striker champs are taken out, other than O'Malley, by shorter, stockier wrestlers. Both Izzy and Leon got overpowered, just bullied down. Only O'Malley is long. I mean, yeah, but again, DDP is kind of a long guy. I wouldn't say that he's like a short, stockier wrestler. But yeah, I mean, back in the day, it used to be Conor would get these stocky wrestlers and then he would just beat them up. So I think that that's what they're trying to do with, I think O'Malley's going to bust Merab up, dude. I really think he's going to. Looks like Patty will be fighting Dariush in November at MSG. I saw you. I meant to reply to your DM, dude. I saw that. I don't know how true that is, but I can see the UFC booking that fight because they're going to strategically matchmake Patty, which they have been the whole time, but definitely now. I think he beats Dariush. Patty Pimblett has a really good ground game, and on the feet, he seems like he's improving. So, we'll see. But yeah, the reason I think O'Malley's going to beat Merab is Merab gets hit a lot. You saw Cejudo wobble him, Marlon Moraes wobbled him, and he's never fought a guy that's as elusive, as fast. The timing, and more specifically, the footwork of O'Malley is going to give Merab a lot of problems. And everyone's like, oh, well, not everyone, but people are like, oh, well, he took down Petr Yan. Look what he did to Yan. Yan's a great striker. Dude, styles make fights. Yan is a guy that likes to fight on the inside. You know what I mean? Sean O'Malley doesn't. It's harder to get a hold of a guy like Sean O'Malley. He's not moving into range. He's moving out of range. So it's a different style. Let's see the poll here. We got 82% think DDP would rather see DDP versus Strickland too. So would I. And the reason I'm not saying that it could be Whitaker or Chimaev is because of that's a quick turnaround for 310. So I never like to rely on guys making a quick turnaround like that. Shavkat versus Bilal. That's true. Maybe they do. Maybe they add both onto a pay-per-view. They do two title fights to end the year, maybe. You know, much better things to use my time on than talking about Conor, honestly. But maybe I'm just on the millennial dash. No, I'm sick of Conor too, man. I honestly am sick of him as well. Either fight or don't fight at this point, but stop teasing and acting like you're coming back. But are you or are you not? I don't know. It's getting annoying. You won't be able to watch this card because I got to attend a friend's wedding. You got to be one of those guys that like on TikTok and shit where they're watching the fights on their phone during the wedding. No, don't be that guy. What's up, Mike Jack? How you doing, man? You can comment again. Yeah, they had you banned, man, because you're out here speaking the political truth on TikTok, you know. By the way, Mike Jock, Mike Jock. Yeah, you Jock, man. No, Mike Jack, your TikTok's hilarious. Dustin has always been a headhunter. Yeah, he went to the body on Saint Denis a little bit, but yeah, I think that this is the first guy in Toria that's going to go after Holloway's body. And that sounded weird, man. Wow, yeah, he's really going to go after Holloway's body. You know what I mean? Like nobody's attacked the body of Max Holloway. Like everyone headhunts and tries to beat up his leg, which is great, you know, because he doesn't really check kicks. But if you put water in the basement, like what Teddy Atlas always says, you know. And some guy commented, I got to pull up this comment on my video. It's one of the worst comments. It has to be a troll job to get my attention, which is why I didn't reply. So maybe I don't even. But on the Ilia Topuria video that I put out, my most recent video, check out a comment and see if you guys can figure out which comment I'm talking about. Because this dude was maybe just a diehard Volk fan. And I get it. Like you're a fan of somebody, you want to defend them. But at some point, you got to be real about what the situation. You know what I mean? Saying that Ilia Topuria has bad defense, saying that Ilia Topuria has mid power, That is crazy. Ilia Topuria has great defense. The only shot that really lands is a jab, which if you've never watched fighting before, jabs tend to land, and a head kick. And outside of the head kick, nothing else really lands. And the guy has probably the most power in the division. So like, it's crazy. People just don't like the guy. So they're like, he sucks. Like when people are like, Sean Strickland sucks. It's like, you just don't like Sean Strickland. Just say you don't like Sean Strickland, but be like, see, I have the ability to do that. I have the ability to be like, you know what? I'm not a big fan of Paddy Pimblett, but he's got really good submissions. His striking is improving, and he proved me wrong against Bobby Green, and he looked great. Most people are like, oh, Sean Strickland, he's annoying as shit. He fucking sucks. All he does is pump. You don't find it impressive that the dude literally beats some of the best fighters in the world with a jab and a front kick and good defense? Like, I think that's pretty crazy. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. That's my little rant for the evening. What's up, Steven? You think Ilia will KO Max with a body shot early round 3? Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I think it would be in the mid rounds too. They could do 2 title fights. Strickland DDP2, Bilal Shavkat. I like that. I think that's good. And then doesn't Bilal and Sean have beef? So then the press conference would actually be pretty entertaining. And he's pretty good on the mic. So there'd be all sorts of shit going on there. If Morales wins, who do I think he should fight next? A ranked, or is Magny's ranked, right? I don't know. I'll have to pull up the rankings and take a look. What's up, Klaus? What do I think about Paddy versus Dariush? I like that fight as well. I like that fight as well. I think Paddy can actually win that fight. Did I see the week 0 game? What do you mean? Are you saying for football? What's up, SKR? How you doing, man? What's up, Wolf Fuel 2? What's up, man? Who should Aldo fight if he beats Bautista? A title eliminator for the belt. Mike Jack. Maybe I should run for president someday. Nah. Paddy smokes soy Benil at this point in his career. I think Paddy Pimblett's just good. Like I think he's getting better. And I've always said he's got a good ground game. The striking has always been kind of, and it looked good against Green. He looked massive. Paddy Pimblett. He looked huge in there against Bobby. You're actually really interested to see the Bilal versus Shavkat fight. So am I. Because Shavkat's undefeated. Nobody's ever beaten him. He's finishing everybody. And you're like, can he do that to Bilal? And I'm like, I don't know. Bilal looked really good in his last fight. Bilal versus Shavkat in the Apex. The disrespect, man. Marab has to close the distance. Otherwise, Sean's going to have a field day. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Chael Sonnen made a very delusional take on his channel. This fool actually said Roundtree's going to walk through Alex. Yeah, Chael, look, I told you guys in my Alex Khalil video, Khalil's a very good striker. And he does have somewhat of a shot, right? Anytime you're on the feet, all it takes is one shot. And I acknowledge that he's a good fighter and he has a good left hand and some of that stuff. But I told you in the beginning of that video, the narrative shit, the UFC, they know the political game, just like the government and shit. They do the little propaganda pushes, and they do this. They do this shit over and over and over again. And I warned you. I told you this was going to happen. They do this shit all the time. They're like, oh, all of a sudden, this guy who everyone was ruling out, they're like, he's got a chance. He's going to get it done. And I'm not saying that Khalil, he could definitely get it done. He's a very, very good striker. But to act like they're going to do this, like Michael Chiesa's like, this is going to be the greatest fight of the decade. This is going to be the greatest fight of the decade? Like, the hell it's not. Like, I like Poatan, and he is a very fun fighter. He's never in a war. He's never in like a war, you know what I mean? Like he's in like these technical chess battles, but he's not like some dude that's like pointing down in the center of the octagon, like, you know, slinging it out. It's like a technical back and forth kickboxing fight. You know what I mean? To where if he gets caught, or whatever. But he's not like pointing at the canvas like let's slug it out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't agree. Yeah, I think Alex is just going to set him up, man. Dustin also did some amazing body work in the Islam fight. Yes, he did. Yeah, that's what I said. Some people, like a video like that, once it starts to kind of pop off and the engagement starts to build, you'll get people that, because I like to, the people that comment on my stuff, like I like to show the love back by like liking the comment or, just sending a little something, you know what I mean? Because like I appreciate the, the support. But sometimes people say stuff like that and you're like, you're just trying to draw out a reaction. And I'm not even going to pay that any mind other than on the live stream, be like, you're a fucking idiot, because you are. To say that, look, I feel like that is a very important quality. I've always said this, like, for example, football, right? Huge rivalry. I'm a Ravens fan. I hate the Steelers, but I can still sit there and be like, Tomlin's a good coach. They've had great players. They always have a good defense. They always have good receivers. And I can sit there and give the credit. But a lot of the Steelers fans are like, no, the Ravens fucking suck. Lamar Jackson's terrible. The John Harbaugh's an idiot. Like, and they can never give credit. They're not fans of the sport first. I'm a fan of the sport first, then the team or the fighter or whatever. And I'm trying to, sometimes I know I'm maybe a little bit biased, but I'm trying to be, like as fair as I can and give all of these fighters their coverage. Like DDP, he put on a great performance. I ended up changing my pick and picking him to win. And I'm like, look, the South African fans, man, not a lot of people are covering DDP. So I'm like, let me give the guy his due. Let me give him his credit. Let me cover Izzy, because people are being disrespectful to Izzy, being like, this guy, Dean Thomas was like, Izzy looked terrible. Izzy looked great in that fight. I figured he was going to look good. People are shitting on Toria now. They're like, oh, wait, he's arrogant. He's an asshole. But when other people do it, you don't have a problem with it. But when it's Toria, all of a sudden he's an arrogant asshole and whatever. It's called fucking marketing. You know what I mean? It's called marketing. Like, I don't know. I don't know. And then those people are like, the UFC's boring, but then they get mad that Topuria is talking shit and making it interesting. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. All right, let me get back to some of the comments. You got a Kamala Harris ad on my stream? Are you fucking serious? That's bullshit. That's fucked up. That's intentional, because I don't fucking watch any of that shit on there. So that's intentional. They're coming after your boy now, man. They're coming after me now. Pushing propaganda onto my fucking channel, dude. Pushing propaganda onto my subscribers. This is bullshit, man. Nah, I'm not that important, but that's bullshit. I'm not surprised they're doing that. You know what she said? I already know what she said. The bus goes here, the bus goes there, because that's what buses do. Or she pulled a Conor. Patty made me a believer in that Green fight. Yeah, he looked good. He looked huge, too. He looked big. He looked like a welterweight in there. Bobby Green looked tiny as shit. I was actually like, damn, Patty looks big. And then Bobby looked tiny. And I think those leg kicks started to land, and I was like, that's a problem. The body will not work with Max. Those knees will be there since Ilya is so short. Ilya is not that short, though. He just kind of stands low, but he doesn't dip his head. That's the difference. He's tucked, but his head doesn't dip. So the knee isn't, you can still throw it, but it's not going to, the devastating part is when it comes up and hits the chin and makes your head go up in the air like that. It's the snap. Like when you get knocked out, it's the snap. With the head, it's the same thing. Yeah, that probably looks funny. What am I, Michael Jackson? It's black, it's white, it's tough for you to get, yeah. From that music video, when all the people are going like this with their head, they're like, Ilya has lightweight power and featherweight speed. He is him. I don't like him very much, but he's damn good. There you go. That's what I've been saying, man. I've been saying this dude's the real deal. He's the real deal, man. He is that good. Did I see FSU's the Piper Marathon at 2.5K? It wouldn't be a live stream if Frederick wasn't in here rubbing off Joe Piper. You see FSU's disgraceful game? No, but I saw the score. Did you guys see that linebacker from Georgia Tech who has his pads up like this? He's like got no neck. I got to watch the highlights after this, though, before the fight start. Patty versus Gaethje. That'd be a fun fight. Yeah, I think I would favor Patty to beat Beneil, honestly. I really would. Just because Beneil lost to Armin and Charles? No, I just think Patty is like just as good as him on the ground. And I honestly, other than an overhand left, Beneil Dariush doesn't have very good striking, in my opinion. Alex is way too long for Roundtree, and he's patient. He's patient. You know what I mean? And Khalil, look, I told you, look, I told you they were going to do this. Didn't I say, I said it in my video, man. Like, I don't want to be that guy that's like, I told you, but like, I kind of predicted it. I predict these things. I'm like, they're going to do this. They're going to do the propaganda push about Khalil Roundtree. He's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from him. He's a very good striker. He's got very good skills, but they're not going to roll the tape when Johnny Walker knocked his ass out. You know what I mean? They're not going to play that tape. They're not going to play some of the other tape of him getting KO'd, but they're going to put the vicious highlight reel on there where he's fighting, you know, these guys that are journeymen, dudes that aren't even in the UFC anymore, guys that should have won on paper. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just being honest. I'm telling you that's the deal, you know? This is taking place at Utah. We could see an upset, but Alex is beating Roundtree. Yeah, and didn't Alex, he fought, was that last year? Yeah, it was 291. He fought there on the Gaethje Poirier BMF title fight. He was the co-main event against Jan. So he's fought in that altitude before. So yeah, the FSU, I got to catch the highlights. Alex has been 5 rounds a lot. Roundtree is not. Yeah, he's been in 5-round fights, and he's actually went the full, well, almost the full 5 rounds with Izzy until he got to finish. What's up, Woods? How you doing, man? Are you the only one that thinks Cannonier is going to win tonight? No, you're not. We have quite a bit of people, I think. Let me pull it up. Let's check the poll because I put one on my channel. Someone I think was just saying in here, I think Terzi was just saying that he thinks that Cannonier is going to win. Ilya is your height. Ilya is not 6'2". You were early on Toria. I knew in his UFC debut, this motherfucker is going to be good. The problem, but I still don't care for him at all, but you can't deny the ability and gifts he has 100%. And look, he gets the game, man. I keep saying this. He's like, the strategy is if everybody likes you, that's cool, but you're not going to reach as many people to where if you have like that Floyd McGregor effect to where people are like, I want to see this dude get shut up, you know? Now you got everybody because he's got a huge fan base. The dude's got like 4.4 million followers or 4.5 million followers, and he's got like soccer players pulling up to his fights and shit, like famous soccer players. That's when you know that you're, you know, making it. FSU's front didn't look good. You have to check it out. I'll have to check it out. Holloway should have kept his behind at 155, forget that featherweight belt, chase those money fights. Yeah, I'm nervous about him going back down. If Ilya beats Max, you'll be a believer. I can't crown him personally off that Volk fight. I need to see more from Ilya. He couldn't finish Josh Emmett and almost lost to Herbert, who might be cut. Herbert's a good striker. Herbert's not going to get cut. He just won his last fight. He's a good kickboxer. And he's got some pretty good hands as well. Jai Herbert, I think, is a good fighter. I like Jai Herbert. Josh Emmett's also a powerhouse. And you have to remember Ilya's fighting style is different than other people. You know what I mean? Yeah. He stood in there for 5 rounds with a guy with that nuclear, shout out to Lucas Tracy, that big meaty hook. You know what I mean? That Josh Emmett wild winging overhand that he throws, man. Let's see here. Let's pull up the Cannonier poll. What's up? What's it to you? Yeah, this card's happening tonight, man. We got the tough fights on there and everything too. You remember Roundtree asked to fight Alex for the title after his win over Smith. Didn't think that would happen. I don't think anybody did. I didn't even think he thought it would happen. What's up, Todd? How you doing, man? Yeah, look, you can think what you want about Topuria, but you can't deny the man's talent. Didn't Rodriguez finish Emmett in the first? It might have been the second round. But again, different fighter. Lanky, fast twitch kickboxer. Not a guy that fights in the phone booth. You know what I mean? It's all about styles, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. All right, let's look. Let me pull up the poll, or what that's the let's pull up the poll here. Let me share my screen. Let's see. So we got 43% think Cannonier, 57% think Caio Borralho. I mean, I think if you're picking Cannonier, the 5 rounds is probably a huge factor, right? If you're one of those picking Cannonier, considering Caio hasn't went 5 rounds and he's a little wild, I think he's going to try to grapple a little bit. What's up, Richard? Alex put out a video saying he looks forward to the fight with Ankalaev. I think he beats Ankalaev. My thoughts? Yeah, I saw that interview. I was watching that today. So I'm going to probably make a video this week kind of talking about this because I think that there's a lot of weird narratives around this fight. And Alex and Ankalaev are my 2 favorite light heavyweights. So I want to see a fight between them because I think that they are 2 incredibly talented guys. And I think stylistically, it's a great fight. And I absolutely think that Alex can beat him. But I also think that Ankalaev can cause him some issues. But I think it's a great fight. Everyone's acting like these people. I think Ankalaev should have gotten the title shot. Don't get me wrong. But everyone's like, oh, Alex is running. He's so terrified of Magomed Ankalaev. How many submissions does Magomed Ankalaev have? I think it's this, right? I think it's this many. How many ground is he great? Is he a ground and pound type of dude? No. He was struggling to take down Volkan Oezdemir. And I know Volkan Oezdemir has good grappling, but look, the dude is a striker. Magomed Ankalaev is basically he's got good kicks. He's a striker. Magomed Ankalaev is a striker. He has good wrestling, but he doesn't really do anything with the takedown. So where's this narrative that Magomed Ankalaev is like some Habib, where he like takes people down and like he's triangling the legs, he's beating up people to a pulp and taking their back and subbing them? Like that's how people are talking about Ankalaev. Like I'm a huge Ankalaev fan. Like I'm slightly biased towards the guy at times, so I'm trying to keep it neutral. But I'm telling you right now, Ankalaev is a striker. He is absolutely 100% a striker. Like that is where he does his best work. And he went to a decision with Volkan Oezdemir, and he was getting buzzed early by Volkan. I don't know why I said Volkan, but you know what I mean? Like everyone's acting like Alex just gets ran over by Magomed. I'm like, no, it's a good fight. It's a great matchup. I hope we see that fight at some point. What's up, Chad? How you doing, man? Yeah, Jai Herbert's a good fighter. He's not getting cut. He just beat Bedoya. What do you? I don't know what people are talking about. Who people are saying Herbert should be cut? I don't agree with that. No, Alex is not ducking. He's not ducking. Caio has been 5 rounds before, and Jared was slowing down in his last fights, even before the early stoppage. Yeah, I mean, I got Caio winning this fight. I think he gets it done. I think the UFC's trying to push these fighting nerds guys, man, and they know that Cannonier is just not in a good spot right now. I think this is kind of strategic in a way. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but looks like Muhammad Mokaev is signed. He's signed with Brave FC, yeah. Volkan would KO Roundtree. That'd be a good fight. That'd be a good fight. Speaking of that, Volkan Oezdemir needs to be in a title elimination fight. He needs. I would like to see. Has Jan Blachowicz and Volkan Oezdemir fought? I would like to see Volkan fight like Yuri, Jan, or Hill. And if he wins, he should be next in line behind Ankalaev for a title shot. Krylov versus Hill. Dude, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even remember what the hell Krylov looks like as a fighter. Like, I don't even remember what his style is. It's been so long. Is he like, I'm being 100% serious when I say this. Is he okay? Like, I have not heard anything about Krylov in like months, year, 2, whatever it's been. Yeah, Magomed's absolutely a striker. He's a damn good striker. Damn good striker. The best strikers in the division is, well, I mean, I guess you could put Roundtree up there too. So we could say there's 4 guys that are the best strikers in the division. You have Poatan, Jan, Roundtree, and then you have who the fuck? Ankalaev. You know what I mean? Those are who I would put in the top there. And I think Ankalaev he might have the best boxing. He has really good boxing. He might have the best boxing out of all of them. Straight up boxing. I mean, Alex has good hands, but yeah, I don't know. I appreciate it. For Productions. How you doing? Nate Diaz versus Darren Till boxing. I could see that. I could see that happening. Herbert Burns should be cut, not Jai Herbert. Yeah, Herbert Burns is probably going to get cut. I'd be surprised if they don't cut him. I'd be really surprised. Do I think Izzy's going to have to defend his spot against bad matchups now since he's out of the title picture? No. I think that they're still going to give him they're going to give him a striker next to try to get him a win, and then they're going to put him in a title eliminator after that. Or if he could go in there and get an impressive KO, depending on who the champion is, they'll walk him back into another title shot. You're in a break from your class. What's up, Diego? I appreciate that, man. It's 100% strategic. They're trying to initiate a passing in the guard and get Jared out. I mean, yeah, 100%. I agree. I agree with you. Herbert lost 2 straight before that last win and lost 2 out of the 3 before that. That's not the person you want to almost get knocked out by. It was the head kick. That's what I'm saying. It was a head kick. Jai Herbert saw a guy do that on the local pro scene and implemented the same technique. Volkan fought Yuri. I think Blachowicz is a better fight for him. Yuri. That's right. Yeah, Yuri knocked out Volkan. So I would like to see Volkan versus Jan. Is that a fight that makes sense? Volkan versus Jan, and then Yuri versus Hill. Did we just match make the light heavyweight division? Yuri versus Hill, and then Volkan Oezdemir versus Jan Blachowicz. Alex Pineda is a very good striker. He has freakish power, but he's also very good. He's a very good striker. Alex will fight anyone. The UFC just doesn't want to see Alex lose his biggest star in the UFC as of now. Yeah, kind of. They're definitely like, as Jan Blachowicz was like, yeah, I don't know. They give him special protection. They give him special protection or something like this. I like Jan Blachowicz. I like him a lot. I think he makes me laugh. He's like funny. I don't think he like tries to be funny, and he's funny. Did you see his interview with James Lynch? That was a good interview by James. I think whatever platform James did it for, but that was a good interview. And Jan Blachowicz was like, he doesn't understand what's going on in light heavyweight. But what's up, Lane? How you doing, man? Nate would submit Till in a boxing fight. Yeah, he'll snatch that neck up. Dominic Reyes, he's fighting Anthony Smith before the year ends. If I check the 307 card online, Sterling versus Mobzar is not on the fucking prelims and not even the featured prelim. Or is on the prelims and not even the featured prelim? That's wild. That's a great fight. That's a great matchup. I think that's going to be a fun fight, actually. That's a good matchup. That's a good matchup. Jared's 40. The fight game ain't too kind against seniors. Yeah, you got that right. What's up, Mr. Bean? Ferguson isn't retiring. They should give him Herbert Burns. He might win. Hey, now you're talking. That might be a win. Mobzar versus Burrito. That'd be wild. That'd be wild. Yeah, Mobzar and Aljo get disrespected by the UFC like wildly crazy. I would agree with that. But if you guys could like the stream, I would appreciate it. I see we got a bunch of people in here. We got like 40-some people in here. Help your boy out. I'd appreciate it. Middleweight is actually exciting now, though. Honestly, I think this is the best version of the division that we've seen in a good while. Not so too heavy anymore, with good killers all through the division. What's up, Abdul? Yeah, this is the first time in a while middleweight's actually been very entertaining. There's a rumor that Hill might be stepping in for Rakic because he's apparently injured. Are you serious? Or are you trolling? Decent Jan impression. I'm working on it. I got a little too off beat at the end there. What's up, Craze? I have to test my stand-up. He's good striker, but legendary Polish power. When he laughs. He kind of laughs like Santa Claus. Get this narrative of Ank wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi. I seriously think he would have chose fighting in Abu Dhabi over a title fight when he had a fight in the UFC this year. His last fight was against Johnny Walker in the Apex, I believe, right? Alex is a sniper, precise, focused, and damn that power. Yeah, he's a very high-level striker. The people that say he's not a good striker, he's just powerful, that's not true. He's a very good striker, and he's powerful as well. When you lose belt, it tastes like shit. I never tried shit, but you know what I mean. I like I like Jan, man. Yeah, Mobstar and Aljo get disrespected. They do. That's a really good fight. It's a very, very good fight. And it might be one of those where the grappling exchanges are either going to be wild and crazy, or they both just end up standing on the feet and striking, because the grappling will kind of cancel itself out. But Mobstar, I think, has the cleaner technical striking, but Aljo, he's like funky and weird and awkward, and he's got better finishing ability than Mobstar. You know what I mean? Like, he's got some good submissions in his back pocket. So, and we saw Diego Lopez put Mobstar in trouble with some submissions, and that was a fight on short notice. Now, I know Diego's jiu-jitsu is different than Aljo's, but Aljo still has good back attacks. My thoughts on Aspinall begging so much for the Jones fight. I've never seen a great champion beg. He shouldn't have to beg. The fight should be, look, here's what irritates me about this thing with Jon Jones, all right? The Jon Jones fans, all right, they're acting like Jon is like Nate Diaz or Masvidal or Conor or something, okay? And what I mean is Jon Jones has a belt, all right? It's not like if Jon didn't have the belt, I don't care. I wouldn't care if he's picking and choosing who he's fighting. You have the belt, and there is an interim champion in your division that just defended the interim belt and has more title defenses than you do at that weight class, and you're acting like there's not an interim champ in the division. That's a problem. If you want to just fight whoever you want and want to just take fun fights, well, then vacate the belt and do that. Don't hold up a division. I don't know. That's my thought. Piper sleeps Allen. I think he would too. He's not begging. He just wants to fight Jon. He wants to fight Jon because he's defending an interim title, for God's sake. I don't understand I'd be pissed off too. What's up, Lane? Alex put a video out today addressing ducking Ankalaev rumors. He didn't, and he wouldn't. He took the fight he was offered. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. That's what I said about Roundtree. Like, I don't think he has an impressive resume in terms of the wins, but it's not his fault. He's fighting who the UFC puts in front of him. Sergey and Volkov weren't I don't know. I don't know the deal there. Defending the interim title is an oxymoron. You're the undisputed champ at that point in my eyes. Yeah, it's ridiculous. The fact that we have a guy defending an interim belt. It's ridiculous. Do I think Volk can become champ again? No. Unfortunately, no. Piper versus RoboCop. Who would I pick? I think Joe Piper would win that fight. The Fighting Nerds got to be up there in terms of a fight camp this year. Yeah, they might be on top. They got Mauricio Rufy, Carlos Prates, Jean Silva, Caio Borralho. The list goes on and on. They got a lot of great fighters out of that camp. It's the UFC's fault Alex isn't fighting Ankalaev. It's coming off that way, at least. It's coming off that way. Jon needs to fight him or give up the belt. He makes me sick. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I just don't understand the whole, I don't know. There's an interim champ in your division. We've seen this. Remember when Usman was away, Colby Covington won the interim belt. Then they did Usman versus Colby. We've seen this. Poirier won the interim title, fought Habib. Gaethje won the interim title, fought Habib. Like, it's, you know. Pfeiffer would land a sodium chloride bomb on Robocop and then yell about being sick in his last fight. You might, yeah. Conor and the UFC are having issues. That's what's going on there. Bo said he's fighting in November. Hopefully they can give him a tough opponent. I know. He's actually kind of been wildly inactive for a guy that's not taking a lot of damage. We want Rufy. We see the other fighting nerds fought like Jean, Protest, and soon Caio. Yeah, I want to see Mauricio Rufy before the end of the year for sure. Yeah, he got humbled by Jack Hermanson. That was a learning lesson. Nah, man, I got some water today. Because when I do like the carbonated drinks, it like makes me start burping and shit. The best fighting nerd, it's looking like Mauricio Rufy, but we got to see him more active. Rufy versus Diego Ferreira, that'd be a fun fight. We need new matchmakers. They come across as out-of-touch boomers. It kind of seems that way at times. I would agree with that. Conor versus Chandler better happen in December. I don't think it's going to. I don't know that we see Conor in the UFC again. Fight in the UFC again. How do I see Caio winning tonight? I can't see it outside the forward pressure. I think he's able to clip Jared and then maybe sub him. I don't know. It's going to be a hard fight, I think. I think it's going to be a hard fight, though. You've been rewatching Talbot versus Simon a bunch, and I truly think Talbot is a future champion. He could be. He could be. Jean Silva, you think is the best fighting nerd? I mean, he's damn good. Everyone is saying pump the brakes on Talbot, but the only prospect who has fought as effortless and flashy as him are Conor and O'Malley, and we know who they are. That's true. Or we know where they are. Yeah. You're right. No, I don't think John is scared. And I think John has a good shot at beating Aspinall. So I just want him to take the fight. I picked Michael Morales by decision, and then Zach Reese, I believe I said by finish. Or if I didn't say, I don't know if I said like an exact prediction, but I predicted them to win. But I'm saying that here live, that Morales by decision, Zach Reese by finish. Talbot's going to lose his first step up, I feel. I don't know. I think they're going to give him a slow build. People really still believe Conor is fighting in December, the dude and coming back. It's feeling that way, man. It's feeling that way. Yeah, October is very good. October's very good. You think Peyton Talbot would beat Vera? Maybe that's the next matchup they make. Put him in a 3-rounder with Marlon Vera. Morales has cardio issues. He doesn't have a great gas tank, but I don't know about cardio issues. But we're going to find out, because remember what happened to Mike Malott in Canada? He gassed out against Magny and ended up losing. So Neil Magny, man, you got to watch out. The prospect killer, you know? Who should replace Dana? I don't even know, man. I don't know. You think DC? I don't know. Pereira versus Hernandez. Who do I got? I mean, I don't think that fight happens because Pereira's at 205 and Hernandez is at 185. What do I think about Tony Ferguson versus Li Jing Liang? I think the Leech beats him. You can see Morales getting a potential leg kick too. Maybe a leg kick TKO could be. I mean, Ian Gary wasn't able to do it on Magny, so I don't know. Angela Hill's real grandparents really got abducted. I saw that. I saw someone put out a video on that they were abducted by aliens, or they were part of that like wild story back in the day. Oscar De La Weirdo. Oh, Michelle Pineda versus Anthony Hernandez. That's a hard fight to pick. I don't have a prediction for that yet, but if it stays on the feet, Pineda's going to get it done. But if Fluffy's able to put the pace on him, take him down, take him in his world, Fluffy wins. Yeah, I forgot that there was another Pineda. You feel like DC would end up being depressed doing Dana's job? He should be a yeah, DC's in a good spot where he's at. Yeah, look, Neil Magny's been the prospect spoiler, man. Prospect killer. What's up, Hank? You wouldn't be mad if Chael replaced Dana? I don't know if they would do that, though. Munoz beats Talbot? No way, man. No way. Outside of a calf kick, Pedro Munoz isn't beating any. He's got nothing else at this point. I think 307 might end up being a deeper card. We don't know the whole card for 308 yet. 307 might be a deeper card, but in terms of a main card, 308's better. Hunter's not Dana's replacement, I don't think. Hunter's like the behind-the-scenes guy. You still see him out in the open, but he's more of like the behind-the-scenes type of dude. Vinicius Oliveira versus Farid Basharat. Who you got? That's a great fight. That's a great fight. I would probably lean toward Basharat, but Vinicius Oliveira looked good in his last outing against Ricky Simone. That is a great fight, though. Hunter's the guy who actually runs the company. Yeah, he's like the behind the scenes. Yeah, pulling all the strings. I like that matchup. Talbot versus Montel Jackson. Who wins? Probably Talbot. I think I got to go Talbot there, but Montel Jackson's a beast. You think Hunter makes the fights and Dana just announces them? Yeah, that's pretty much. I think that's basically what it is. The matchmakers put it together. Hunter basically signs off, and then they go, "Here you go, Dana," and he's like, "Oh, okay." Magny by first round KO. That's crazy. That's wild. If I needed 2K by tomorrow, who would I throw my entire piggy bank on tonight to win? Probably, I don't know. There's a lot of up in the air matchups. I maybe Edmund Shabazian beating Gerald Mearshart. I figured you were trolling, man. Maybe Edmund Shabazian beating GM3. But I don't know. It's hard to trust Edmund, but I don't know. Zach Reese, that's a good one. That's a good one as well. Orlabai versus Thiago Moises for 308. I would like to see that on that card. Is that official? Without Dana, as an accountant, I cannot imagine Dana sitting in a budget meeting without crashing out. Yeah. See you, Frederick. Valentin, yeah, I think he gets it done too. Yeah, middleweight's very interesting right now. Middleweight is like suddenly stacked for sure. I agree. But yeah, I think Zach Reese, outside of didn't he get Batista? I know he lost to Brundage. Wasn't it that he got Batista bombed? I think that he can, I think he should win, is my guess there. You think the odds on Merab and Sean are literally mind-boggling? You're making racks on Sean? What are the odds? Are people saying that Merab is going to beat him? Or are the odds, is Merab the favorite, a heavy favorite? That's crazy if that's what that is. You have Robert, Morales, and Caio. Good picks. You're pretty sure the UFC doesn't want to give Hamzat or Ankalaev a title shot because their inactivity and location are limited. What's my thoughts? I mean, I see your thought. I never even thought of that, to be honest with you, but I don't know that that's what it is, to be honest. I think that they're trying to come up with the most exciting matchups because we've heard the rumor of the UFC allegedly being like, we want guys to stand in there and strike. We don't want people grappling. And if that's true, they're going to prioritize the strikers over guys that may resort to the grappling against whoever the champion is as a striker. You know what I mean? I think that Hamzat struggles to grapple against DDP. But again, Strickland and DDP, you know what you're getting. You're getting guys that are going to stand in there and strike the whole time. DDP is going to probably implement some takedowns to try to score points, but Strickland's going to get right back up. So that's why they're going to book that fight, I think. I think that they're going to book that fight next. You're the standalone tonight thinking Caio gets fraud checked? Could be. I don't know. Cannonier looked rough after that weight cut. He said his whole camp was weight cutting. Let's see. What did you say up here? We need 3 more fights on 308 so far. There's 9. What would I put as the last 3? I would definitely get Shara Magomedov on the card. So him versus somebody. I would have loved him versus Holland, but I don't know who else. I'd have to look at who's available. Definitely Shara, though. Strickland has the best chance to beat DDP. I think Strickland can. I think that that's a great. I want to see that fight again because it was so close last time. I watched it back actually today, and I thought it was 3-2 somebody. And I was like, I picked DDP to win the fight. And initially, after watching it, I was like, I thought Strickland won. And I picked DDP to win. So I got the prediction right. But I was like, that was close. I think that Strickland live reaction. But watching it back, to me, it was like razor close. It came down to, I think it was, what was it, the second or third round that was like so fucking close. Like, if you were going to call a round a draw, it would have been that round. Like, it was so close. And it's like, however you scored it that way is how you scored the fight. Because I thought that DDP clearly won 2 of the rounds. Strickland clearly won 2 of the rounds. So it was, it comes down to that one swing round. Shara versus Kopylov. I like that fight. That's a great fight. Maybe they do Shara versus Cesar Almeida. You think they're okay having one champ who could only fight in the Middle East if he's a big enough star? Hamzat is, Ankalaev isn't. Could be. Well, they have they usually have Islam Makhachev headline that card for 308 or in Abu Dhabi, the pay-per-view in October. He normally headlines. It used to be Habib, and then now it was Islam. But now, the door's kind of open. Yeah, Wang is elite. Her striking is. She beat Valentina in kickboxing. I know that's kickboxing, but yeah, she's very good. You thought Strickland won? Yeah, it was close. It was damn close either way. It would be a good fight again. It would be a good fight again, that's for sure. If the same Jarrett comes out that fought Marvin, he will win. I'm very interested in what Jared we see. We'll see. We'll see. What's up, Entertain? How you doing, man? Shara versus Paul Craig. Paul Craig. Orlabai versus Thiago Moises and Alessandro Toria versus Eric Silva would be the last 3 fights. So apparently I wanted to see Toporia's brother on that card also, but Topuria said in a recent interview that his brother's not going to be on that card. But I would like to see him on that card too. You want to see if any of the top guys can stop Hamzat's first round wrestling? I know. I'm intrigued to see that. That's why I'm excited to see him and Whitaker. Cesar versus is fighting Eeyore. Or what card? What's up, Midnight? How you doing, man? Yeah, no, they're not giving Shara anybody that could grapple right now. They're going to continue to give him strikers. Islam wants to fight in the U.S. at some more famous venues. That's interesting. That's good. Jared is making a quick turnaround after losing to Imavov. That usually never ends well. That's true. It normally does not end well. You'd like to see Orlabai fight on 307? Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him on 307 or 308 for sure. You still can't believe they matched Ludovic Klein versus Nicholas Balada. Like, what the fuck? I know. I don't get that. I don't get that. Cesar versus Eeyore is on 307. I did not know that. That's a good matchup. Yeah, I think Caio hurts Jared on the feet and then subs him. That's how I see it playing out if he were to win. Hamzat got food poisoning and is not fighting Whitaker. Is that true? Well, they were supposed to fight back in, I believe it was June or July. Yeah, I think it was June. And then the fight didn't happen because Hamzat was ill. And then now it's rebooked for UFC 308 in October as the co-main event. I think it's the co-main event. Tony Ferguson versus Alex Reyes, UFC 310. I don't want to see Tony fight anymore, man. I don't want to see him fight anymore. Me personally, at least. So we got 46 votes. 54% would rather see DDP versus Strickland, or would rather see DDP versus Strickland 2 at 310. And then 46% would rather see McGregor versus Chandler. Interesting. If Cannonier had issues cutting weight, then I think Caio is going to try to employ grappling. I would agree. I agree with you. I think he's going to grapple no matter what. No, Hamzat's showing up. He's showing up. Who would I pick at Evloev versus Ilya? I got Ilya by KO. So do I. I got Ilya. No, nothing negative in terms of Hamzat's health as of now. So yeah, as I know it, everything's good. A new video of Hamzat with food poisoning? I haven't seen anything on that. I thought that was the last camp when that happened. I don't see anything on that. Caio versus Roofy? Or Caio versus Fluffy? Ooh. I feel like Fluffy might be able to beat him. Yeah, Hamzat was very active, and then all of a sudden he kind of fell off with the activity. I don't see anything on Hamzat right now. Where are you seeing that at? You forgot food poisoning is what caused Hamzat to pull out back in June. Was it food poisoning? I didn't know if we heard for sure what the reason was. I didn't think we got like a legit source that told us what actually happened. Yeah, I mean, if Hamzat has to pull out of this upcoming fight, man, I feel like that might be it in terms of his fighting career, because he needs to just prioritize his health at that point. Who wins, Fluffy or Paulo Costa? I don't know. People underestimate Paulo Costa's grappling. But I feel like I would have to favor Fluffy in that one. And we're sure that video is new. That's my question. Because I feel like if as soon as I open up and see my MMA news feed, it would be like, it'd be everywhere. You have a feeling Hooker and Oliveira is going to be made next? I hope so. That's a good fight. It's a great fight. You actually hope Rakic pulls out so we could get Magomedov versus Hill? I mean, that's not a bad fight, but I like this Rakic versus Magomed matchup as well. What's up, Toad? If McGregor beats Chandler, he'd actually be the best option for Makhachev after Arman since he beat everyone else. I mean, it's a huge fight. It would be a huge fight, so I could see the UFC looking to go that route. It's unfortunate that even Chimaev runs through Whitaker. The fan base will always hate him. Rob was washed will be the narrative. Yeah, I mean, look, I think Hamzat can definitely beat Robert Whitaker. The question is, what does he look like after being away for an extended period of time? And can he out grapple Whitaker? I think he can. DDP's taking Robert Whitaker down. Yoel Romero's taking Robert Whitaker down. And I know that Yoel Romero has, he's a great wrestler. I know that DDP has really good grappling and he's strong, but technique-wise and the way that he chains everything together, I think Hamzat's probably the best grappler that Rob has fought, in my opinion. The way he chains all of the grappling aspects together. Yeah, Rakic did look good against Yuri. He just got melted as the fight played out. Yuri just willed his way to victory. Yeah, Oliveira versus Hooker getting made would be amazing. Yeah, Islam's a great champion, man. He's a great champion. He's a fun fighter to watch. He's eating gas station sushi. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how he keeps getting food poisoning. Yeah, DDP versus Hamzat would be crazy. I mean, dude, Hamzat versus Whitaker is a crazy fight. Like, I really want to see that fight. Yeah, Cannonier looked rough from the weight cut. I can't lie. I can't lie. If you pick Bo next opponent, his next three options, who would I choose? Kapilov, Robocop, Rodolfo Vieira. Kopylov is a tough fight. Robocop is a very tough fight. What's up, Crossover? How you doing, man? Hope you're doing good. Appreciate it. Same to you. DDP hit a head and arm throw like a women's MMA fighter on Whitaker. I think Hamzat will sub Rob in round one. I mean, yeah, I think Hamzat's grappling is going to be a real issue for Rob. Yeah, that's true. The truth of did he actually injure his hand or not is definitely going to be a factor because he fought Usman on short, but we've never seen anybody do that to Usman. Either way, we've never seen anybody grapple Usman like that. You know what I mean? Worst ranked fighter. Probably someone at heavyweight. Tai Tuivasa. Maybe, I don't know. I like Tai, but the one thing you hate about Abu Dhabi cards is that I got to wake up at 9:30 a.m. just to watch the prelims. Are you on the West Coast? You think this is the fight Cannonier shows his age and gets finished? Yeah, I think he gets finished, but I think he gets hurt on the feet and then gets subbed. If Hamzat mauls Whitaker, he'll be getting a title shot. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying, man. I agree with you. I think if Hamzat wins the title or wins against Whitaker in an impressive fashion, all bets are off. He's getting the next shot. Why didn't Ikram wrestle? I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know why he stood in front of Rob. I don't think Vera's the worst ranked fighter. Bantamweight's just loaded, man. There's a lot of good fighters. He's lost to Sean O'Malley, who's the best striker in the sport right now, in my opinion. Well, one of them, him, Pineda. So he's lost to him. No harm, no foul. And then he just lost to Davison Figueiredo, who's a former champion. You know what I mean? Who's looking unstoppable at bantamweight. So, like, I don't think that he's overrated. Yeah, Hamzat kind of has the McGregor approach, like how McGregor would always come out like a bat out of hell and be so aggressive and have his foot on the gas like right away and just kind of burn himself out. That's what Hamzat does, but with grappling, which is even more exhausting. Yeah, club and sub. Yeah. You think Bilal beats Usman? Yes, I agree. I think he does as well. Chimaev would get the next title shot after DDP versus Strickland fight. People would have to remember leverage is everything. Dricus would try to move up to fight Alex 205 before that fight, all up to Alex. Yeah, I mean, look, I think what happens is we get DDP versus Strickland before the end of the year. And then I think the winner of that will fight Hamzat or Rob next year. Because look, even if Hamzat beats Whitaker, unless he comes out unscathed and is ready to turn around in basically 2 months or less to take a title fight, a 5-rounder, like I don't think it's going to happen. So that's why I'm pretty sure that they're going to give Strickland the shot. The more I think about it in that aspect, because banking on some guy to turn around that quick to take another title fight, money talks, but I'm just not relying on that. Yeah, Charles Johnson's definitely better than Matt Schnell. That's interesting. Cruz, that's another one. He hasn't fought in fucking forever since he got KO'd by Chito Vera. You'd rather see Hamzat fight for the belt than the jab and teep merchant? I mean, but the DDP versus Strickland fight was close, though, And Hamzat will get a shot at the belt either way. That would just be in the meantime. What if Bo survives round 1? Then could he take over and finish Hamzat in the later rounds? No, I don't think so. Yeah, Hamzat's, I think, limited on where he can fight. Yeah. Anthony Smith, yeah, he's a little over the hill. I don't think Strickland's boring. I actually like his fighting style. Just like when people would say Izzy was boring. I didn't think Izzy was that boring. It just depends on what opponent you stick in front of him. Like I thought DDP versus Strickland was an entertaining fight. He's got good defense. You know what I mean? He's got good defense. That's the thing. And he's hard to get to. But I think DDP is kind of a hard matchup for him again in a rematch because of the way he blitzes in. When I was watching that fight back, that's kind of how DDP was really landing on Sean, was the blitzes. But if you just go single shot for single shot with Strickland, he's going to be able to get you. You can't trust Hamzat to even show up. I don't see the UFC dealing with that. I think it depends. I think this is their final test for them right now. Chimaev versus Izzy for an interim? I don't know. Could be. Fluffy subs Izzy? Maybe. He seems like a really nightmare matchup. DDP or Prime Yoel? I think Prime Yoel could win. But I don't know, because in a title fight, Yoel fights differently. If Hamzat loses to Whitaker, I don't think he'll fight for a belt either. Yeah, they're slowly building Bo. They're slowly building him up. I see what you're saying. You like Strickland's fighting style? He walks forward the whole time. Yeah, he just has really good defense. He might have the best jab in the sport. Honestly, he's got a really good jab. He checks kicks really, really well. He's got good defense. He's got a good straight right hand. He just doesn't throw it enough. And he's got really, really good teeps. You know how frustrating that is if you're ever sparring somebody and they just keep throwing teeps up the middle and just keeps, like right in the gut. It like takes your wind away. It hurts. It stops your momentum. It keeps pushing you backwards. Like he's got a very hard fighting style to deal with. And the thing about Strickland that's also like an underrated is how good his grappling is. Like you can take him down, but you're not holding him down. He's going to get back up. You know what I mean? Especially at 185, he's been a way better fighter than when he was at 170. If Rob beats Hamzat decisively, then you have to give him a title shot, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, I think that Rob definitely would deserve a title shot. Yeah, that's see, Steven, I agree with what you're saying. It kind of goes back to the whole Izzy thing where Izzy's like, I'm going to put on a master class. I'm going to put on he drops like a trailer on Instagram and he's like, it's like this production and then goes out there, jabs and leg kicks. And it's like the same thing for Strickland where he's like, it's going to be a war. And then he goes out there and jabs and teeps. So like, I get it. I wish he wouldn't say, oh, it's going to be a war. Just be like, I'm going to beat the guy. I'm going to shut him down. And if Strickland would go out there and take no damage and jab and teep some guy and beat him that way, like that's impressive. But it's the fact that he promises like a battle or whatever, and it's not. You know what I mean? Strickland style, you're saying he's a beast, a nightmare for everybody. Dude, look at, so if you watch the Abus Magomedov fight, he's a pretty good fighter. He got fraud checked quickly by Strickland. Watch Nasruddin Imavov against Strickland. Watch Izzy against Strickland. Watch those pretty stylish strikers that operate really well in space. Strickland's a disaster for them. He's a nightmare for them. The only one that really gave him a problem, like that gives him problems, are those big, stocky dudes with crazy power that like to move forward. Also, they give him problems because they blitz and they extend the combinations, and that's how you get to Strickland. Or unless you're Alex Pineda and have freakish power, and you can just launch a left hook, throw two strikes around, and and then a devastating left hook and knock him out. Like, you know what I mean? So he's a hard dude to deal with. Pineda would piece up DDP on the feet. I think Pineda would be a real problem for DDP on the feet. You have a feeling that O'Malley isn't going to find a read on Merab, and Merab is going to maul him? You think Merab's going to drown O'Malley? I don't think so. I don't think so. Ilya's going to beat Max JDM style. What's up, womb wrecker? I mean, yeah, that's kind of how I see it playing out. If that's how he's going to get it done, that's how I would see it playing out. You are watching a breakdown of Ilya boxing, and I can confidently say Max stands no chance on the feet. I wouldn't say he doesn't stand a chance. He's just going to have to turn it into like a kickboxing fight. Utilize all the tools of striking. Don't just stand there and box with the guy, because Toria is a better pure boxer. He's got, when I say pure boxer, he's got the good high guard. He's got the good defense. He's got great head movement. His combinations are powerful. He's got a good jab. Everything that he throws is power. You know what I mean? Where Max, it's kind of methodical, So he's still good. He's still got really good boxing, but it's just a little different. Ilya and Max could be similar to Holland and JDM. That's not a bad comparison, but I don't know though. The way Alex set up the KO on Sean was great. Yes, it was. That's one of the downsides of that Philly show. When you're sitting here, that backhand, you got to answer the phone, because he starts to reach and try to over parry. And then Alex just kept throwing that jab to get him to swipe. And then once he saw that head start coming away, then he would throw the hook right behind it. Have a good one, Rocco. Appreciate you hopping on, man. You rewatch Ilya's fights with Volk and Bryce Mitchell. He overswings like a madman. Yeah, he starts out very, very aggressive. It's kind of like Gaethje. And then after a round, he kind of settles in a little bit. Ilya has a problem with kicks, but Max doesn't throw very good leg kicks, though. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say like the comparison of like Holland and versus JDM. I understand what you're saying, like a guy that likes to kind of sit on the outside, but Max is definitely better than Holland, though. Like, he has better movement. He's got way better boxing. He's got Holland's a much, or Holloway. Holloway is a much better fighter than Holland. Holloway, HOL. It's throwing me off. But yeah, Ilya, those calf kicks, you got to watch out. He started to welt up the leg of Volkanovski, started to fuck with his movement. That was a good game plan by Ilya. He definitely caught Volkanovski and his team off guard. Yeah, Max doesn't adjust to leg kicks very well. He kind of gets his legs out of the way, but he doesn't really check them. And with Ilya, it's the fact that if he could just take away a little bit of the movement of Holloway just to make him a little more stationary, that's what he's going to do. And then turn it into a boxing fight. Would Ilya finish Mobsar? I think so, yeah. Imagine an angel takes human form and decides to do MMA. You think O'Malley beats Merab? And then Umar beats O'Malley? Yeah, I would agree. I think Umar is the best guy in the division right now. Do you think Ilya could go 5 rounds and beat Max? Yeah, I do. landing the more damaging shots. Yeah, O'Malley would be a hard fight for Ilya because he's so much faster. Bryce versus Cater. I didn't like Calvin Cater's last performance, but that was after a layoff and an injury. I think Calvin Cater can get him. I think Calvin Cater can beat him. Remember, most people was confident Volk was going to beat Ilya during fight week. I was up here saying, man, look out. Ilya Topuria is that guy. I've been saying that for a while. I've taken a lot of heat about Ilya. I even said Ilya could beat Islam Makhachev. I think that because I don't think anybody's beaten Islam at 55. I think that the one guy that could probably beat him would be Topuria. That's a super fight that I want to see. I want to see that fight so bad. Topuria defend his belt. Ilya Topuria versus Islam Makhachev. That is a great fight. I mean, the way Max would beat him is just by sticking and moving and kind of fighting him just like he did Arnold Allen. The problem is Ilya Topuria is going to be landing, man. It's not like you're going to be having him hit fresh air for 5 rounds. You know what I mean? And Ilya is also, even when he got dropped in those fights with that head kick, which is a head kick is one of the worst things you can take, he still recovers. He has good grappling, and he still recovers. So, you know, he's a complete fighter in my opinion. Ilya versus Charles, that'd be wild, but I don't know. Ilya versus O'Malley. Yeah, I mean that's a fun fight. I think that O'Malley's footwork is crazy. Islam is way too big. I mean, Islam's big, he's taller, but Ilya is like he's a big dude. He's a big dude, and he's got that low center of gravity, so it makes it a little harder to take him down. I know Bryce Mitchell was able to take him down a little bit, but I think with the correct adjustments and the right approach, Ilya Topuria is a problem. Yeah, I mean, I think Islam Makhachev's pound for pound number 1. In my eyes, he's pound for pound number 1. I just think and all I'm saying is if anybody can beat him, I think it would be Topuria. I don't think anybody at 55 beats Islam. I think when he moves up to 70, he's not going to fight Bilal. I could see Bilal beating him, but you know, they're not going to fight. Maybe Shavkat. I don't know. We got to see Shavkat against like a top guy in the division because I'm not so sure that Shavkat can beat Bilal Muhammad. Yeah, Topuria is a big dude, man. He's a big dude. He's heavy. He's like he's used to, you know, he's fought at 55 before. He's like a big guy. Islam walks around 185, 190. So does Holloway. Holloway's a big dude also. What's up, Toronto 95? How you doing? But yeah, Max weighs a lot, but he doesn't I don't know. He doesn't look like it. He doesn't look like he would weigh 185, 190 in the offseason. At least to me. But pre-gaming for tonight, man. Yeah, I'm excited for these fights, man. Let me pull up the should we pull up the card real quick? Let's pull up the card. Who do I got? Max or Dustin? If they ran it back at 55, I think that I think Max could do much better this time. I think Max could win. You'd rather see Islam versus Arman too. I'm hyped for that. I would also love to see Ilya versus Bobzar, or Ilya versus Diego Lopez. I like those fights. I like those fights. But let's see. Let's take a look at this card. Let me pull it up. All right, here we go. So I got Wang winning. I got Ramaska winning. I have Cavalcanti winning. I have Slava Claus winning. I got Zach Reese. Who are you guys picking? Are you guys picking Dennis Bazookia or Francis Marshall? I was leaning towards Bazookia because originally it was Danny Silva, and I thought Silva was going to be able to beat Bazookia, but Fire Marshall's stepping in on short notice. So I don't know how I feel about that. I got Shabazian. I got Michael Morales. I think I was going to go Marion Santos here. What do you guys think about that one? I got Robert Valentine. I'm going out on a limb. I don't trust her, but I'm going to pick Tabitha Ricci by a controversial split decision. And then I got Caio Borralho. Ilya has great takedown defense, but I don't think it'd hold up at 155, especially a guy as skilled as Islam. That could be. You guys think Francis Marshall beats Bazookia? Islam smokes Armin. I think Islam beats Armin as well. Morales better not let Magny clinch. Yeah, could you imagine if Magny pulls it off? He's the prospect killer, man. You got to watch out for Neil Magny, man. Yeah, I think Marshall can get it done. I got Marshall. Even though it's on short notice, I still think that he's going to get it done. Dustin versus Fazeev would be a great fight, but Dustin, I think, is only coming back for one more fight, and I doubt that he's going to want to give that to Rafael Fazeev. He's going to want like an OG, you know what I mean, or a rematch with somebody wild or something. Yeah, I think that you think Morales is going to KO him? I don't know if he's able to KO him. I think he's going to hurt him though. You're riding with Neil, the Malat Slayer Magny. You have a feeling Neil's career is about to turn downwards? You think Brian Battle will beat Morales? I mean, Brian Battle, I want to see him back in there soon. I want to see him back in there soon. I love watching Brian Battle fight. But does Brian Battle have a fight book coming up? I don't think he does. You need to lead Zay to lose to Kevin for my mental. Yeah, I know, dude. I don't even know how to pick that fight because, like, I think that Kevin Holland's a better striker than him, but I don't. And he's got some decent submissions, but I feel like Delidze's like, I don't know. I don't know how to pick that fight. I feel like Delidze might beat him, to be honest. But then again, I don't know because Delidze's striking is kind of bad. That's right. He's on that Paris card. It's true. Morales should finish Magny. Magny's durable, though. You saw Ian Gary beat the hell out of him, and he still was hanging in there. So Delidze's such a fraud. You respect the audacity of it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how to pick that fight because I think that Kevin Holland like is the better striker, I would say, but I don't know. I don't know. If he wins, then the Dolidze title run starts now. Yeah, I mean, that would be the time for him. Dustin versus Volk is a great retirement fight. Who do I got? Dustin. But I don't know if they booked that fight. But that would be fun, though. But I don't know. Volk might be a little too fast for him. I don't know. Because Volk's very quick. But I think Holloway, or I think that Poirier could beat him. I think the UFC is still fun. Maybe not as many personalities as there once was, but Holland versus Kopylov would have been a better fight. I agree. Volk versus Emmett. I like that fight. I think that's a fun fight. The only problem is you're asking Volk to fight like a guy who's like kind of an over the hill contender at this point. So like, I don't know. It depends on if Volk would want to, take that risk, but I feel like that would be a fun fight. I think Volk could pick him apart. Help get Volk's confidence back. So I think Volk's confident, but I think it's hit just a little bit. You know what I mean? From getting KO'd back to back. Or not back to back, because he came back and beat Yair. Didn't he get KO'd by Makhachev, then fight Yair, and then fight Ilya after that? I think. If Volk gets chin, you're blowing your money and then blaming it on Emmett. Yeah, I don't want to see Volk get chinned anymore, man. I'm tired of seeing that shit. And I don't think Volk should fight Ilya again either. Dude's a problem. But I think that Josh Emmett versus Volkanovski fight would be interesting. Emmett's KOs make you feel like called the police. Yeah. Dude, his KOs are like he violates people when he like he's got some nasty power, dude. Some nasty, nasty power. No doubt about it. Volk beat Yair, then went up and got KO'd by Islam, then Ilya. Oh, shit. So it was back-to-back. Damn. Yeah, I think that would be an issue as well for me. I think that Volk's speed might be a problem for Poirier. That's kind of how I'm visualizing that. That the speed would be an issue there. If Dustin can handle it. I mean, I think Dustin's a better boxer, and I think he's got some good leg kicks and stuff, but I don't know. I feel like Volk's speed could be a real issue. Yeah, he's definitely not pulling a ghillie. Yeah, no way. No neck Volk. But a couple more, and then I'm gonna wrap this up and get ready for the fights, man. Emmett's KOs feel like I should call a private investigator. Volk does have good wrestling, and that shows you how good Ilya's grappling is. You know what I mean? He didn't even try to really grapple with him. And when he tried up against the fence, Ilya's strong, man. I'm telling you. Just strong dude, because you know how strong Volk is. You know? And Volk's got good ground and pound. He's got good elbows. I appreciate that, Hank. Appreciate it. Thanks, Richard. Yeah, I appreciate all of you, man. This has been a fun stream. And if you're new, if you could sub, I would appreciate it. Those that have been supporting, I appreciate it. And enjoy the fights tonight. I know there's a lot of I know it's an Apex card, but there's still some solid fights on there tonight. So and if you guys have not seen my recent videos on Pineda versus Roundtree and Toria versus Holloway, check those out. But I appreciate you guys. See you next time.